Hi, I'm not yet dead, and welcome back to Shamrock Valley. So, you join me the next morning. It's early autumn, 7 o'clock, and a few things have happened since we last spoke, since you last saw me. As you can see, I'm just clearing out some of this manure. I need to get a bigger bucket of some description to do this, because otherwise it's going to take me hours. Yeah, just thought I'd come and clear some of it out. I've cleaned up the animals. I'll need to give the sheep some water at some point today. They get a bit low. I forgot to do that yesterday. But yeah, it's early autumn, and so it's time to start harvest, and I've got a little bit more harvesting to do than I thought. So I had a phone call late yesterday evening. Local farmer put all his effort into getting his fields ready. He's hit some problems, family issues. He's not going to be able to do all his harvests, and he was wanting to downsize, so he asked me if I'd like to buy some fields. So I did. I gave him a little bit extra, a little bit over the odds. They've all got crops in, and a couple of those are now immediately ready to harvest. So it's going to be a busy day. At the same time, my sugar beet field is ready to harvest. So I need to get started on that as well, down at the pig farm. And as we talked about yesterday, oh yes, that was something else we need to talk about. As we talked about yesterday, I can sell those at the new biogas plant. And of course, you'll notice if you watch my last video, I realised my mistake. So the we're running seasons. Bales take a month, to all intents and purposes, or is it a month, or is it a season? It might be a season, which would be 3 days for me, to what's the word I'm desperately looking for? Ferment, to actually become silage. And I forgot and treated them as if they're normal bales. So of course what I ended up doing really was selling wrapped grass, which unfortunately didn't get me quite as much money as I might have thought. We still managed to make 16,000 euros, so could have been worse. But yeah, it would have been 24 if I'd have thought about it and left it. But there you go. This is how you learn, when you make mistakes. Actually not, I've done most of this now, so it's not bad. I'll come and do a bit more when I get a chance, but I think got an early start this morning. I think it's probably time to go and start. Well, we'll need some equipment, won't we? Yeah, better go get started. So actually, let's take a quick look. Just drive over that. Just get this out of the way a minute. I'm not gonna need the. Oh no, wrong one. Sorry, that's that one. Yeah, I'm not needing the front loader today, so I may as well take that off and get it out of the way, because I almost certainly will need probably as many tractors as I can get my hands on. So just put the front loader down and the fork. Oh, I was going the right way to start with. It's you know, slightly misty, early autumn morning, but very pleasant. At least it's not raining like yesterday. Crikey, that was a lot of rain we had yesterday. Actually, that's a point. We had a lot of rain yesterday. Oh, okay. So the first thing we need to do then is head out to the fields and see if we can harvest. I'm assuming. Let's have a look. I'm assuming the sugar beet will be okay. So 38. So yes. So these are the fields we bought. 37. So that's actually that one I was admiring as we drove to the biogas plant. That's got potatoes in it. Field 9 over here. I think that's barley. Yep. And what was the other one we bought? Did we not buy another one? Is it just those two? Really? I bought a third one. Oh, guess not. Yeah, none of our fields are quite ready yet. Oh no, that's right. I was thinking about this one. Decided I didn't want that one, but I helped him out buying a couple of his bigger fields. But yeah, it's a point. I've no idea yet. Wow. Okay, I'll tell you what we could do. Actually, you know what? In case they're not ready yet, what we'll do, because the other thing we talked about yesterday, of course, was selling the potatoes. that are down at the pig farm in the store. And if I can remember what I've done with my new trailer, then what we'll do is we'll quickly nip to the store. Ooh, I hope the store's open, actually. Is it too early? Should be alright, hopefully. Where did I put it? Yeah, seriously, where did I put my new trailer? Oh, I know. Sorry. Yeah, so we'll see if we can get to the store, get a bucket. Then what we could do at least is start shifting the potatoes, even if the fields are too wet for us to start harvesting yet. That's something we can be getting on with. So so let's try and do that. Don't need all the lights on now, just put those on. Put the cover across. Yeah, I'm slightly surprised our fields aren't quite ready yet, but then on the other hand, you know, we've got other fields just to get started with, and what I could do without them all being ready at once, that would be a bit of a nightmare. I did buy some so this is a weird thing, right? So I suddenly realised that we should have done 3 levels of fertilisation. I'm confused by that. It may be a seasons thing and I just hadn't realised, which means that none of our fields have got 3 levels of fertilisation except for this one we just bought. But I went and tried to fertilise them and it wouldn't let me. So I also noticed that we've got yet more weeds in the grass fields, which are proving to be something of a pain, and that the weeds that I'd done with the weeder were still marked as pink on the fields, but I went with the herbicide to try and get rid of them and couldn't. Well, actually I couldn't see anything, to be fair, but they're still marked on the map as being weeds, which is all a bit confusing. So what do we got? Front loaders, good buckets. What size we got? 2000, 2500, 2000. That one's specifically for, I don't particularly want anything that's specifically for root vegetables. 2500, 2000, 2500, 2000. Wow, there's quite a lot. Actually that looks like it bucket wise. Then we come into sort of silage and forage crop forks, bale forks. Definitely not that one. And of course the ones we've already got. Okay, so 2500 it is, but I'll definitely take one that will do all crops. I don't particularly want one that just does root vegetables. Oops, sorry. Quite like the one with teeth. Or the monoblock. Actually, that's quite cool. Wow, it's expensive. But nowhere near as expensive as that one. Customized discharge. Okay, whatever that means. Right, that one is then. Yeah, I'm going to lease it because I don't see the point in buying it. We're not going to use it that much. Right, I'll run down to the pig farm and I'll see then we can make an assessment of our fields. Oops. And I'll see you there in a sec. As you might be able to tell, I'm in a different tractor, so I got down here, the field looks fine. Obviously, actually, I think it's been quite windy overnight, quite a lot of breeze, so looks like we'll be able to harvest. So I've been back up to the store, well, been back up to the farm, got a bigger tractor, got my new Massey that I bought yesterday, and leased the Rootster, the old classic sugar beet harvester with the topper for the front, both grimmer. Let's give it a go. Good to get cracking on this one. It's going to take us a while. I'm kind of glad that not all the fields are ready at once. And bizarrely enough, I noticed that in the grass fields that wouldn't let me weed yesterday, the weeds are grown full overnight, so they are now complete weeds. Yep, that looks fine. Probably need to unfold that, right? Do we? Must need to unfold it. Do we not need to unfold it? Apparently not. Let's give it a go. We'll need to switch that on though. Lower that down, switch it on. That's been ages since I've used this. And we go, we've got sugar beets. It's working. This is going to take some time. Fortunately, we've got plenty of runoff at the end of the field. This is actually a really big field. Problem is, it's if anything, it's a little bit too big for the rootster. It's a relatively small piece of equipment. No, it's alright. But it's far too small for using one of the bigger, self-propelled harvesting beet harvesters. Far too big. Far too small rather. They're just too big for this field. So we'll just have to manage. It's also a bit of an odd shape, so it's not the easiest field in the world to be using with a worker. And I'm missing bits. We'll find. We can come pick up those up later. But this will net us some money actually selling at that biogas plant next door. And of course, it's not far to go, which is also a bit of a bonus. We literally just nip out the back gate. You can see it there. Just look. So I saw them being built. It'd be interesting to see how it looks when all those trees have grown nicely. There's a few. Oh, it's good to be harvesting. Can't beat that first harvest in a new farm. Feel your work's paid off, but of course I didn't actually plant this field. It was like this when I bought it, but right, let's leave that there a second. So yeah, here's my JCB that was all ready to go with the potatoes, and I jumped out and thought, actually, you know what? No, potatoes can wait. Right, so let's just. I don't particularly want that on while we're doing this. I'll cover the trailer. I might want to go get a bigger trailer actually. I did say I'd probably get a new trailer around harvest time, so hopefully I've got enough space I can get around the end. Just about. And nipple on the edge of the river bank, just about. It's also quite nice to work in this field a bit actually, because we're only doing a bit of spraying so far. Sadly, of course, it will need ploughing, so that's going to take some time. Right, you can leave that there. So what I kind of need to do is figure out a pattern for this. I will go around the whole edge just to give a worker some space, but I need to figure out where's the best place to start the worker off. The field's at a slightly weird orientation. Actually, it looks like it can go up and down, so a couple of times around probably be enough. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So I'll do that. No, maybe I'll catch up with you either when I've got a worker set on it, but I think we'll basically get to the point where I'll be ferrying back and forth, which even that may be a bit dull. But yeah, so we'll meet when we take the first trailer load, I guess. But yeah, I'll keep going around and we'll catch up with you in a little while. Well, here we go, first load. So as I said, back gate out the pig farm, pretty easy place to get to. That's quite lucky actually. So I've now got a worker just going up and down. It won't be long. I didn't manage to empty the tank before I brought this over, so it won't be long before he's full again. And as usual, can't get the staff, so he's leaving lots of gaps that I'll need to sort out. Where does this thing tip? I don't remember. I think it's back. Spin that round. Yes, it's very lucky this place is here, because let's see what they pay in sugar beet. 1,500. So that's the first load of 20,000 plus litres. It's 21,000 litre capacity, this. Yep, there it goes. 21,500 litres. So that's already, you know, just over 30,000 euros worth. And that's just a... oh, that's a bit tight. Something about this JCB, it doesn't like tight corners. I mean, it's agile itself, but it doesn't have the flexibility in the back to leave space for the trailer to come round. Anyway, yeah, so first load, 30,000 litres. And that's only four lots of emptying the tank, as you can see. Yep, workers leaving me plenty of work to do. That's fine. It'll save me time overall. Let's go see, he must be nearly empty right now. Must be time. She's now going to be on the wrong side. It's quite fortunate actually that sugar beets are quite robust once they're fully grown, so it's during pre-harvest that you have to be really careful while they're growing. Obviously you don't want to damage the leaves, but once you're about to harvest them, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, he really is leaving a chunk of work for me to do, isn't he? Oh, he's full. Haha, check that for timing. And happens to be on the right side. Again, this turning circle of the JCB is going to let me down a little bit. So there we go. Right. Well, I'll get a bit more of this done. And I'll catch up with you, at some point a little bit later on. So as you can see, we're a little bit later on, and things have progressed somewhat. So oh, as you can see, we've got a new trailer which I've just scratched. I just figured the little Marshall wasn't enough. Luckily this one's got a hitch at the back, so it's actually I'm able to take both trailers at once, so I can now take a much bigger load at a time. And I figured I've been on about getting a second trailer. I figured now is a good time. So so yeah, so I've got that. Means we can take more in one go, and given we've still got the potatoes to do, it just made sense. Luckily they're all quite close to the BioGasPlant. It's not a big deal, but we may get to the point where we're doing multiple fields at once, so we may need two completely separate trailers anyway. But yeah, and you'll see just at the distance of the edge of your screen, I've also treated myself to something else, because obviously while I was there picking up a trailer I needed a new tractor to pull it, right? So we'll drive that way and I'll show you. It's part of my plan for a bit of change around of the tractors anyway, so... oh, got to put the harvester down. Too busy chattering away. But yeah, so we've covered a good amount of the field. I've taken one more load in the meantime, so that's 42 odd thousand litres now. It's quite good to get this strip done here. Why not do it all in one pass? There we go, last little strip. Stop there a second. Right. So yeah, treat myself to this Massey Ferguson 3000 series. Look at this. Quite some age. 4-wheel drive. Crazy, huh? 4-wheel drive. 3090. Got front loader, so I can use the front loader with it as well. I was just I got it here ready to move those potatoes as well. I've got to take those out of here. Yeah, I've been looking forward to getting one of these. So there it is. I've already used it once. I had to clear up a bit of a mess I made at the BioGasPlant. Some of which I couldn't get out. They're still stuck there. Brilliant tractor. I am denied about getting a 2-wheel drive version, but I needed quite a powerful one. Ultimately, to replace the little New Holland we've been using around the yard, and for the spraying and stuff as a crop protection tractor, if you like. So I needed something with about equal power, and I'll probably then upgrade the New Holland to something a bit bigger as we gradually progress. The Massey Ferguson may itself end up being down here, and I'll replace the other two that I've got. What's the International that I've had for a while? I bought that with me from Peterville, and the Ferguson, which I find a bit tricky on some of these fields, but I'm going to use it to plough out this field before I sell it. And maybe we'll use that elsewhere. But yeah, so I'm going to carry on with this. You don't want to spend an entire video watching me just doing sugar beets. So we've done a fair bit. I'll get this finished off, and I will also probably do some, not necessarily all, but some of the potatoes off screen, and then we'll do some of that in the next video. But also we've got our other new field to harvest, so let's see, we've got, yeah, so 30 we're doing, so we've got 37 where we've got our potatoes. That's one of our new fields, and then we've got our other new field, field number 9, it's barley, so we've got at least another harvester for that. I'm assuming none of these have progressed. So yeah, so the rest of our fields, 1, 2, 15, 17, I assume will be ready tomorrow. And then actually also need to think about right, so our grass fields are ready actually, so we can do our grass fields today, do some more silage bales. Again, you've seen me do a lot of silage bales, so just did some. Actually this time I'll try and remember to do them to ferment before I sell them, and I'll get more money. But I'm very glad that new BioGasPlant is there. It's they're going to get a lot of business from me this autumn. Just tell you what, we'll fill this up. There we go. Because that wasn't going to take long. I got quite a big capacity. I put all the extenders I could on this. So what we'll do actually, we'll go empty this. I want to see this trailer in action. See how much more we got. Whoa, that wasn't quite right. There we go. It's only just high enough, so I have to be really careful with it. It's a pretty decent amount. To all intents is it's a Bailey. Just don't tell anybody. It's not supposed to be a Bailey. Right. So lube worker on this. Sure, we need to give that tractor a wash by the time it's done the potatoes as well. Oh, I missed a strip. Oh well, never mind. So we've got, it says 35,000 litres, so it's still got a fair amount of capacity actually. But we'll go empty this, and then I'll finish off. Probably get all of those in here actually, won't take long. It's the only snagger bringing 2 trailers like this. Yep, it still doesn't like it though. It's a bit of a problem really. There we go, that's better. Yeah, it's the only snags I've got to detach one. Help is blocked by an object. Really? What, the river? Seriously, I mean, I'll leave him in charge. See how this does. Am I in? No, not really. Took a second, I thought I was going to do anything. Aha, there it goes. But of course actually there's no point in bringing too much at once, because to be honest, the digester can't take that much. Yep, that's all good. So actually if I bought all these full, I probably wouldn't be able to get them all in. Hadn't we thought about that? Just about right. I think it's got a limit of 50,000 litres, so that's good actually. Spot on. Let's leave that there. Connect them back together. And there we go. That was bad. Surely I can do better than that. There we go. That's better. Right. Can I make this turn? Luckily those trees are quite small still. No, I can't. A much gentler arc. There we go. Nicely done. Yeah, slightly strange combination of colours, but I won't necessarily always pull them like this. I just thought I might as well while we're here. It's got the capability, so why not? Wow, we really did try and get into the water. Excellent. How about I do the rest of this then? You just go take a break. Really drown my sugar beet. Seriously. Actually managed to get my biggest, most powerful tractor stuck by trailing a beet harvester over the edge of the bloody river. What a wally. Anyway. Right, so I'll get this finished off, and I'll see you on the next one. So, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, likes and subscriptions very much appreciated. And I'll see you on Shamrock Valley sometime very soon. Bye for now.